Hello, everybody, and I know that we're just past Halloween here, but I haven't taken down my setup because we're going to talk about something a little scary today, and that's where all these auditors are disappearing to. If you haven't noticed, there's been an uptick in late filings this past year, and almost every single week we're seeing another company reporting another press release coming out that just says our auditor left and our filing is due, but we have no auditor now, so we're scrambling to find another one. So it is Kevin, Jay, and Stuart here at SmallCapVoice to talk about this auditor madness that we're experiencing. And I'm going to first start kicking it over to our finance guy. Stuart has a background as a CPA and a CFO and a lot of other financial business too. He's got a degree in finance as well. So Stuart, let's just go straight to you and talk about what the heck is going on with these auditors.
All right, we've worked together a few years. The degrees are as follows: accounting and arts and entertainment management. Nothing in finance, but that's okay. I still love you. However, Dateline November 1st, nobody gave the memo to Kevin that he pointed out at the outset that it is no longer Halloween season. With that being said, it is still a scary topic. The Auditor Armageddon is what we're calling it. Its roots are in accounting, and that's why you're kicking it to me, I think. The PCAOB standards, which were really muscled up earlier in the year. Nothing really changed so much recently, but in October, September, they sort of unified these codes. And what you have now are auditors saying, I don't really like how you're valuing your inventory. I don't really think your receivables are exactly what you're stating them as. I think they're overstated. They are finding things. And this is, your big ones like Ernst and Young's down to your regional accounting firms. And this is not a small and micro cap problem. I'm an investor in ADMA. If you look at the 1 month chart on that company from being dropped by their auditor to today, Dateline November 1st, and picking up a deal with Ernst and Young. Excuse me, they were dropped by Ernst and Young, I believe, and they're picking up with KPMG, which is sort of like Coke and Pepsi when you look at auditors. So it's a big deal, that one. Now, the flip side of that is SMCI. When they were breaking up, if you will, with their auditor raised an integrity concern. Now, since I've read more about this, I'm concerned as well as a shareholder in SMCI. There are some other things that make this one a little bit more valid, a little less reliant upon the new, tougher PCAOB standards. So here's the scary part in all of this. Some of these disengagements are for cause, as they've always been. But with seeing so many auditors breaking up with their companies all at once, it's very difficult for us as investors to know what's what. We had a client, DFCO. They had an issue with their auditor. Their stock is slowly rebounding. RTON, another former client that still comes by all the time to do videos with us, they have been dropped by the OTC markets all the way down to that double black diamond, darker defunct, and they have a 15C211 on file. So it's causing, and I'm going to say that's erroneous. That's all going to get fixed, in my opinion. And if you see, the stock's actually trading up somehow. So, Jay, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I feel that with all of these auditors that are leaving the board, is that typically that would have been a move for investors to be concerned about, worried about, and they would have due cause to kind of like back out or kind of put the brakes on things. With all these auditors leaving, I don't think that's the case. And I think that it's from the regulations and all these rules that they don't want to deal with just for the publicly traded companies that they're seeing that, oh, this isn't a big issue. They're getting an auditor on the books and replacing them with somebody that does want to deal with these small caps, that does want to deal with the publicly traded companies. And you're seeing these rebounds, as you're noting, where they're coming back up because it isn't a big deal unless there's proof in the pudding as far as those issues that you had mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
where there is cause for concern. And so I feel that this is actually a movement for companies to rally on, is that they can have these drops and then have these rallies come back where they're actually in a better position than when they were before because they got a better auditor behind them. So their finances are going to look better and they're going to be a better company for these auditors actually backing out.
Yeah. The rubber band stretched about as far as it needs to stretch, and it's going to snap back just like it did in the case for ADMA, as long as it's, like you just pointed out, just an issue with the auditors not wanting to deal with the more stringent standards. But for other companies, obviously, as we always say at smallcapvoice.com, It's really up to you as the investors to really dig and do your due diligence. When SMCI happened, it really kind of, who are these guys to act like the DOJ and question the integrity? But then there was already some other reports out there that I hadn't found yet. It caused me as the investor to do my digging. And instead of buying the dip, which I was fully prepared to do today, I'm pumping the brakes. I'm on a hold right now, but I'm leaning towards sell. Kevin, anything to say to close this one out?
Well, I mean, I think that you brought up Coke, you brought up Pepsi. Maybe we're going to see the rise of Tab Soda or something like that. Maybe there's going to be a new auditor popping out that's going to say, you know what, I will carry this mantle right now, and I will help out all these OTC companies, all these small cap companies that are scrambling. I mean, not even small caps, but all these companies that are just scrambling to find auditors. I think we might see a champion rise out of this one. Obviously, there are so many companies scrambling right now that there's going to be at least one beacon of hope for all of them. It didn't take long for DFCO to fill their auditor gap, and so I'm hoping that all these other companies with this gap are able to do the same very quickly. And who knows, I kind of like market shakeups like this. It kind of keeps everybody on their toes. So but either way, I think that's what we're talking about when we say scary business here. Auditor Armageddon is upon us. Where are we going to go from here? Let us know your thoughts in the comment. For Stuart and Jay, this is Kevin of SmallCapVoice. See you guys next time.